What's up guys, welcome into this video. We're doing something a little different today. I want to share with you my video editing setup and just how much of a monster this computer is. We're gonna run over things. I'm not really the most technical of guys when it comes to my cameras, my lenses, my lights, and my computers. I just want a machine or a piece of hardware that's gonna get the job done and do it quickly, powerfully, beautifully, fast, and all that kind of stuff. And this machine does just that. In fact, it's a PC that's making me reconsider my switch over to Mac. It's that good. I do all of my video editing on this machine, whether it's HD, 2K, 2.5K, or 4K. This thing can handle it all. It's a beast. It all started when this company called MSI emailed me. They offered to send me a computer, and they said, look, we're not gonna pay you. We're gonna give you a free computer and 2 free monitors, and just do a review on the system, what you like about it, give us your honest thoughts on it. That would be great. So they're not paying me, but I mean, let's be honest, they did send me a free computer and free monitors, so I suppose there's gonna be a little bit of bias in there, but I'm really gonna try to just give it an honest review, share with you what I like, and there are a couple things that I kind of don't like about it, but it's gonna be, I think you're gonna enjoy what we're about to get into here. Also, I've got links for the stuff I'm talking about down there in the bio. You can check out the full 4K video editing monstrosity setup. If you're in the market for a 4K video, it would help me out if you go over, check that link out, and just consider picking up this machine if you're ready to spring and make this kind of purchase. If you're looking to get into video editing or photo editing or just have an absolute monster of a computer, this thing, it's pretty nice. I'll put it to you that way. It gets the job done, and that's what I like. So first and foremost, this machine exports video from Premiere Pro about twice as fast as my Mac on average, but it's not uncommon for it to export video 5 times, 5 times faster than my MacBook Pro. Now it is my MacBook Pro. It's not like an iMac Pro or one of the trash cans or anything like that, but it's my MacBook Pro. I've been exporting YouTube videos from that computer for a long time. This thing just blows it out of the water. And not only does it blow it out of the water in terms of just the render time, but I can do other stuff with the computer. With my Mac, I pretty much have to set it and forget it. Let it render. If it's gonna take an hour or 2 hours to render the video, it just has to be on its own, and I gotta go find something else to do. Now, that is, let me pick up my notes here, that's because due largely to the Intel Core i9-7900X Skylake-X 10-core 3.3 gigahertz processor. It's the brain of the computer. And speaking in historical terms, it's like mixing up Albert Einstein and the Hulk. It's really smart and really powerful all in one. It's really, really cool. And you can even make it turn the color green, I suppose, because there's this really cool thing called Mystic Light that you can change the color of the computer and the color of the fans on the front and all kinds of stuff. It's a neat little, I don't know, side thing they throw in there. That's also kind of cool to have. When I'm working in Photoshop, working on huge composite images or whatever I'm doing in Photoshop, I can make sure that there's a ton of RAM allocated to Photoshop because the machine I have has 32 gigs of RAM. I'm gonna be upgrading it to 64 soon, but overall, the whole system can handle up to 128 gigabytes of RAM. It's got a 64-bit operating system. It is an absolute monster when it comes to allocating this RAM usage. It's got the 10-core processor, so it's just feeding that processor these fleshy chunks of RAM, and it runs so incredibly well. It's this Kingston, what's it called? It's the Kingston Predator RAM. It looks really cool. It's got like this etched-in design on it. I don't think it really helps with the speed. Maybe it helps keep things cooler. It's got a larger surface area, so maybe it stays a little bit cooler because of that. But it's great. It's got a ton of RAM, and when you pair a ton of RAM with a really powerful multi-core processor like a 10-core processor, when it comes to working in Photoshop or video editing, woo! It is a thing of beauty, let me tell you. But the processor and the RAM, we've only really covered 2 points of the speed triangle, and the third part of that is the VRAM, the graphics card, and this thing has an NVIDIA, the NVIDIA GTX 1080 X8G. It's an 8 gigabyte graphics card. It's huge. It's like this big. It's bigger, well, not bigger than my head, but it's almost bigger than my head. It's got these 2 giant fans on it. And it's, well, when you combine 8 gigabytes of VRAM with this incredible video card, combine that with 32 or 64 or 128 gigs of RAM, and combine that with a big monster of a processor, you have a computer that is going to crush visual tasks like 3D, like VR, like 4K raw video, 2K video, joke. HD video, it's like, what, did somebody open the window? Did I feel the breeze? Did somebody hit me? The computer doesn't even know what's going on. It's such an easy task. It handles it 100% quality preview render, pre-renders in Premiere Pro as you're working. It is a thing of beauty. And I just have to say, you don't realize how wonderful it is to work with a machine that doesn't lag, that doesn't have like a half-second delay between clicking on something and, oh, there, it just popped up in a dialog box. This machine, you click on something, boom, it's there. You play, you click the play button, bam, the video just plays. You make an adjustment to save a file in Photoshop, boom, it just goes ahead, it saves the file, it writes so fast. We'll get to that in a second. It exports compositions, motion graphics, you name it, from After Effects so quickly, you're actually not going to dread having to jump over to After Effects to adjust something before shipping it back to Premiere Pro. This thing just moves fast. Have I said that enough? Have I made myself clear? Speaking of writing to hard drives fast, the system I have has an optical 10 terabyte drive, which at this point in time, when we look at a terabyte as a lot of space, 10 terabytes is a lot of space. And it also has an SSD drive as well. I've got the applications and the operating system installed on the SSD. So when you start the computer up in the morning, you come in, you're getting ready to work. This thing starts up so fast, you don't even have time to go get your morning coffee. It just starts up and it's ready to log in kind of immediately. Oh, the machine has a ton of USB ports, like 13 if I counted correctly. A bunch of them are USB 3.1 ports, so that's just super fast. I do all of my editing off of external SSD drives, so I plug those suckers in, USB 3 them right in, and the editing workflow is just, it's perfect, it's seamless, it's so fast, it's so easy. One project on this drive, one project on that drive, jumping back and forth, getting a ton of work done. Now, all of this power gets output to these two really cool 27-inch optics monitors that MSI sent me as well. They're curved monitors, so they're supposed to be a little bit more immersive, and I can say I have them side by side, and instead of sort of being this triangular effect that it creates, it is this nice curved effect. It's a little weird at first, I'm not gonna lie. For gaming, you don't really even notice it, but sometimes with some of the applications I'm using, I do notice a little bit of a curve, but honestly, after about 5 minutes of working with it, it just disappears. You got these two monitors in front of you and they work really well. They got great color. They've got this, I think they call it a frameless design, but there still is definitely a bezel there. It's just very, very small, but it looks good. They look nice. They're very easy to adjust. You can kind of lift them up, put them down, tilt them, turn them, twist them, whatever which way. They're really, really great. Again, I'll have a link for this in the bio as well. And if you're into gaming, which I'm not really into gaming, I'll mess around a little bit here and there, but honestly, before having this PC, I hadn't even opened a computer game in 5 years or something crazy like that. But if you're into Fortnite or PUBG or Overwatch or any of these games that are popular right now, not only can you play these games fully maxed out, you could play VR games, no problem. You can play these games while exporting high-end video, and the computer just plows through it. It has cores for days and RAM for weeks, so it can allocate cores and RAM for your game on this monitor while you're exporting, previewing video on another monitor. It is a beautiful sight to behold, and I'm gonna have to do some like gaming versus video head-to-head videos in terms of showing you how quickly stuff exports even with the game running, and also I'll do some stuff where I match it up against my Mac so we can just see how much faster it really is. That way you don't just have to take my word for it. So got a couple last notes here in terms of what I don't like about the system and the monitors. I'm gonna go through it here. A couple things. The LED light system, that is a cool thing. It is incredibly not intuitive. It was so difficult to figure out how to install the right sort of utility and then make it work. It was a pain in the neck, and there's not very much support out there on how to make it work. So there's a lot of trial and error to make the LED stuff work. Not necessarily essential to the system, but one of those features that's pretty cool once you figure it out and know that, hey, I can go and change some colors on my computer. It's just a nightmare to get set up and working right away. And then lastly, the biggest knock arguably is just the fact that you're stuck with the Windows operating system. Now I know there's a lot of you out there that love Windows, and I used to love Windows. I still do love, I like Windows machines. I certainly don't hate them, but Mac's operating system is just so much smoother and cleaner, and I'm so much more used to it now after growing up from a 5-year-old child to the mid-20-year-old person I am now. I always used Windows up until about 3 years ago when I switched just full-time to the Mac. And going back, wow, the Windows 10, some things that seem like they should be easy are incredibly difficult to figure out how to do. Like right now, I'm battling with changing my administrator username. It's For some reason, it's a combination of infuriating, frustrating, and a little bit scary trying to figure it out because there's just not any button. I keep seeing stuff about signing in with a Microsoft account, but I don't think I have a Microsoft account. At least I don't remember setting one up. And right now, the name of my administrator account is just the name of the motherboard of the computer, which is like the X299 something, something, something or other. And I only know that because every single time I go to log in on the computer, that's the username that faces me. So it's little things like that. But again, is that an indictment on the computer? I mean, not really. It's a really fast computer. Maybe you could say the system that I have costs about $3,500. So maybe that could be a downside, that it is expensive. But hey man, there's that old saying, you get what you pay for. And for $3,500, you're gonna get a machine that can handle everything. Whether you're into gaming, whether you're editing high-end video, you're offloading that stuff from your C100 or 200 or 300, dumping it onto a system or onto a hard drive, and you're accessing it through this system. Editing in Premiere is a breeze. You're gonna be able to export your stuff so quickly. Pre-rendering is like a joke. You can just blast through it so quickly. Gone are the days of having to proxy and re-encode or transcode, I should say, all this footage to much smaller files just so you can handle editing that 4K on your computer that's not necessarily powerful enough right now. So all that stuff is really, really good about the MSI. But like I said, $3,500, you know, take it or leave it, right? But you do get what you pay for. This computer, it's quicker than fast and stronger than most. I really, 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 really like it. And if you guys want to check out more, like I said, there's links in the bio and all kinds of stuff, info, good stuff like that. I'm going to have more videos coming about this computer. I'm going to be trying to do a little bit more of this on-camera style stuff as well in the future. This is just a video to kick it all off, man. We're going to see how this does. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for sticking around and checking everything out. Nathaniel Dodson, tutvid.com. I'll catch you in the next one. And before you go, make sure you subscribe to my channel for more great tutorials every day. Also, buy my course. It helps us do what we do, and this channel is supported by viewers just like you. You can also just click the thumbnail and watch another video from this channel. See you next time, guys.